You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people.
The Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Real talk, real radio, real people, just like you.
Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Let me tell you about Travel by Stats. Travel by Stats delivers premium travel packages and provide excellence by focusing on assuring that their tour itinerary is clear. For destinations they've never taken, they even take the trip in advance of the actual one you're about to take. This ensures everybody has a great experience. They've been around since 1988 and have been operating here in Atlanta since 2000, starting from the ground up, but they now boast of a team operating in 5 states. Travel by Stats not only specializes in Caribbean destinations, they also provide a variety of reasonable, cost-efficient events by land, air, or sea. One of their big things is sports travel for football fanatics who live in Metro Atlanta. That's the fun way to go anyway. Here's some of their upcoming list of events. Giants at Cowboys, Falcons at Giants, Falcons at Cowboys, Cowboys at Saints, Patriots at Cowboys, and many, many more. Contact them at 855-266-6675, extension 700, for the owner, Maritza Wilmer. Again, that's 855-266-6675, extension 700. If you mention my name, Doug Stewart, you'll receive an extra 10% off your package. Travel by Stats. Where they don't sell travel, they sell fun.
At my signal. Unleash hell.
You gotta run before you can walk.
You've reached Kicking It with KC show.
what it's all about, gentlemen. It's what we train for.
This is KC on the Kickin' It with KC show, and today we're kicking it with Cayne. And I've known Cayne for a long time. I think me and him used to work in IT way back in 96, 97. So we're going on over 20 years or so. This guy's been a good friend of mine. He actually was in my wedding. He took the most beautiful images and all kind of good stuff. Gave me some good advice before I got married and all that stuff. And Cayne's been a good friend of mine. And, hey, he's like big brother. So anyway, we're going to kick it with Cayne today. We're streaming live over the Stewart Media Entertainment Network. Thank you once again for tuning in with us. So what's up, Cayne? How you doing today?
It's all good, man. Appreciate you having me on the show, man.
That's right. And you were, for a long time in the ATL with me, and then you have relocated now in the D.C., Maryland area, the DMV area up there.
Yeah,
and, Yep, let me ask you this. ATL, and they always say it's pretty similar between Atlanta and the DMV area. Do you think there's any similarities? Because you're from there and you lived here. So what is the comparison or contrast you think between them both?
You know, they both got their different styles of living, you know what I mean? Atlanta has more of the glamorous feel when you're hanging out and you know, participating in things within the city. I mean, DC got its own culture, its own clique. You know, it's very. I mean, you can't go nowhere and feel different because everything is DC. You know, whether you're in DC or you go to something in Maryland or Virginia, it still got that DC feel. But in Atlanta, I felt so diverse. You know, I can go and kick it, you know, in Buckhead, and I definitely feel the difference than if I was kicking it, you know, in Decatur. You know,
okay.
It's definitely a different feel. And then people in Atlanta, man, they generally know how to party. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's live, and you know, you can walk into a unnamed place, man, and run into somebody that's is very, very famous.
Right, right.
You know, I could go down a list of how many cats I ran into in Atlanta, but in DC, you know what I'm saying, we don't have that too many people that come out the DMV area.
Okay.
To run into on a regular basis. So, you know, it's not that similar, but it's, you know, there is a difference between here and there, definitely.
Yeah, they say there's a lot of money, especially in the PG County area. As far as PG County and DeKalb County, pretty similar as far as like African Americans and wealth. They say that's pretty similar.
Yeah, well, you know what, the style of living, you know, is different here, of course, in DC. You know, I think when I moved from Atlanta, I think I took like a $50,000 increase in the salary.
Okay.
You know, so the money is here, and basically it's a government city. So
right.
If you don't work for the government, you're working for a contractor of the government. You know, there's very, very few people you run into here, man, that work for, you know, for the public sector. You know, they all either work for the government, some section of the government, or, you know, they work for a contractor of the government.
Okay.
It brings a lot of money. You know, it brings in a lot of money.
Right. Now, see, you yourself, you also an entrepreneur, so you actually, like me, you got a day job and you're an entrepreneur on the side. You kind of took a hobby of yours and flipped it and now doing something that you enjoy, and that is the imagery and photography thing you got going on. Tell me how that came about.
Man, you know me, man. I've always had to stay busy, man. You know, and ATL afforded me, you know, a good origin, if you will, to really get that business started. I can't even remember, man. It's been so long ago. But
right, let me interrupt. Let's keep this real right here. All right. So back in the day in Atlanta, before you left, and this is a show that's pretty much the majority of male listeners listening here with us, especially on the Stewart Media Entertainment Network, a lot of sports guys here. You had some calendar girls here, I believe. You started in Atlanta. I can't remember the name. The biker girls. That was it. You put a calendar together.
Yeah, man. I did more than put a calendar together, man. I actually, I want to say that I was one of the unofficial founding fathers of that scene of club girls in Atlanta. Like you said, the name was Biker Girls.
Right.
And back then, I used, like every other dude, man, I'd be on the internet looking at broads and stuff.
You're a dirty dog.
And, I always ran into the same type of chicks, white girls, big boobs on, these choppers or Harleys. So I said, you know what? I need to see some urban chicks, man, whether they, urban white, urban black, whatever, just some hip-hop looking chicks, on the back of my, my bike,
That's right.
And my two-wheeler, my crotch rocket. So, I got together this idea, and it was funny because it was this white cat that I ran into. His son went to my son's daycare.
Okay.
We met there, and he was big into IT, like I was into IT. But he was, of course, much more involved in it. So this dude had some money. Man, I shot the idea to this cat, and he said, "Why don't you host your first meeting at my house?"
Okay.
So I went nuts there. If you're familiar with the Atlanta area, this dude lived on Lower Roswell.
Lower Roswell. Okay. Yep.
Those houses $1 million and up. So I went to this dude's house, man, and he opened up the side of the house, went around to the pool area, and we were able to park, about 6 or 7 bikes on the side of the pool. And then once you leave the pool, he has like a little cabana joint sitting there on the side of the pool where there's a full bar. And then you go behind that, and he has the little golf tee where he's, teeing off on golf balls that's going, like a damn football field, you never find the ball again. So this cat had some money. So, he let me have it there. I invited some of the girls off of the internet and gave them the address. They all showed up. And, back then, I was about 50 pounds lighter, so I came out there with my dreads swinging, and my white linen, doing it like Eric Benet, no socks, no sandals, no shoes, and I had a little karaoke machine, and I started talking from inside the house. It was, man, I'm telling you, it was so theatrical, man. I had candles on the tables and all these bad chicks, man, sitting around tables drinking mimosa. So all of a sudden they hear this voice come out.
Hello, ladies.
They don't see me. Then I'm taking the mic and I'm coming through the door and I'm explaining who I am and what this is going to do. Man, I swear to God, from that time on, I literally had no girls and jumped to like 12 girls all at one time. And then we started shooting all over the place. I mean, you name it. We were shooting all over Georgia.
Wow.
And, then what happened was some of those chicks started to, fall off.
Right.
Just like naturally, if you hang around with a dime, you're going to get a whole bunch of dimes trying to holler at you.
Right.
Because they all think they look better than each other. So before you knew it, I had a natural wave of other dimes coming in that was actually better than the dimes that I had.
The original. Okay, so the models got better, and your clientele got even bigger and better based
they
upon
got bigger and
work.
better. And
wow.
All right, let's pause for a break.
Whole Team Enterprises, a full-service graphics and marketing company that will take your company's image to the next level, specializing in graphic design, web hosting, printing, video editing, event planning, and more. They are cost-effective, professional, and have an awesome quick turnaround. Please give them a call at 888-755-0036 or visit them online at www.wholeteam.com. Be sure to get your car serviced by the professionals at ICN Services, located in the Buckhead area of Atlanta. They are a full-service automobile concierge service who are an on-site automobile detailing provider with the advantages of their come-to-you service. Your car can get their needs taken care of while you continue your day. They will take your vehicle to appointments, inspections, repairs, returns, and more. Find them online at www.itscleannow.com or reach them at 404-934-0675.
Go see my guys at Platinum Auto Accessories in Lithonia, Georgia. They can get your car audio needs tight. In addition to the audio enhancements, they specialize in visual enhancements for your car as well. Lighting, rims, alarm systems, remote starts, and more. Visit Kevin and James with some of the best deals in the Atlanta metro area. Conveniently located at 2648 Lithonia Industrial Boulevard, off I-20 and the Evans Mill exit. Also give them a call at 678-323-7888. Mention this ad for a special discount. Friends of the Kickin' It with Key C show.
You've reached Kickin' It with Key C show.
Thanks for showing love to the sponsors, and you're back with the Kickin' It with Key C show, streaming live over the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. We're here kicking it with Kane. All right, let's get back into this.
I'm all about having fun, get a couple of cocktails in me, start a fire in someone's kitchen, maybe go to SeaWorld, take my pants off.
I did a bold move one day.
Okay.
I took my truck, grabbed about 5 or 6 of the girls,
yep,
and I went down to, what's that joint on, used to be on Fall Road, Atlanta Dimes, a little club.
Okay.
So I walked in there, I came to the door, and dude was like, yo, you got to pay. And I said, well, I'm bringing the entertainment. And he was like, what? I said, yeah. He was like, who are you? And I said, Kane, I represent the biker girls, And then one by one, I had all the girls come out the truck, and they had, heels on, little booty shorts, little halter tops that said biker girls on it. Their makeup was done. We went to Lennox at the counter, got their makeup done. And when I tell you, man, them chicks stepped out that joint stunting, dude was like, oh hell yeah, y'all come on in.
Wow.
So we had girls out of bed, and then we started moving around, and we ended up having a main spot at Club Frequency.
Frequency, okay, I remember Frequency in Buckhead, right?
Yeah, we got so popular that Club Frequency asked us to night, so we ended up hosting Monday nights.
Okay.
So it was broadcast on the radio. Monday nights at Frequency. Come enjoy the Monday Night Football hosted by the ladies of bikergirls.com, and people started showing up. Man, we did little birthday parties. Happy's mom came in. She did a birthday party there. Man, it was so many different people. Fat Joe came through one time. Ox from Belly came through one time. Different celebrities were just showing up, and then as our big finale, we did a everything chocolate night.
Oh man!
Yeah, we were serving chocolate tequila. We had the girls dressed in little bikinis that had M&Ms.
Okay.
M&Ms on them.
Dude, I think I went to that night. I went there.
Yeah, I think you were there. Yeah,
I remember that night.
there. So, we did it big, man, and ATL allowed me to really get into it. But the biggest difference for me is Atlanta gave me the chance to get my name out there.
Right.
And I wasn't a photographer per se at that time.
You just a dude taking pictures, ain't?
Well, no, I was actually a photographer, but I could never get the time to put into photography.
Okay.
You know,
so you didn't like the craft then? You didn't like the work that you did then? Like, you're way better? Okay.
I was always the promoter, you know.
Oh, okay, I got you.
You know, so I never really had the time. And when I did have the time, many of your folks might know this, but some of my work, I should say, shows up in the movie ATL.
Ah.
A lot of people don't know that, but they show up in the regular movie. And they show up in the regular movie, and there's, you know, some stuff. If you got it on DVD, they show a lot of stuff on the alternate endings and the deleted scenes and stuff like that. But a lot of my work shows up in that.
All right. So, hold on. All right. So, once again, this is Keith C. Kicking in with Kayne on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. All right. So, we're actually breaking it down, Kayne and how he got started into the photography thing and his development. Now, you said at a certain point in time your stuff was in ATL. Where did we find it? Was it like some imagery they were using in the movie or what?
Chris Robinson came to me.
Okay.
And he said he wanted to shoot, you know, with an urban style model with a photographer from the Atlanta area.
Ah.
So he talked to me and he said, okay, we want you to go and we're going to give you the money to rent a Goldwing, because one of the characters in the movie is it Uncle George?
Yeah.
Uncle George.
Yeah. Okay.
I think his name was Uncle George. Yeah. And he was a bike enthusiast, and he thought he was a player, an old school player, and he liked motorcycles. So he rode a Goldwing.
Okay.
So they rented a Goldwing for me. It's a shop. It used to be called Wild, right off of Car Parkway.
Wow. Yeah. Wild Motors. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So they rented a motorcycle for me, and I took a few of the girls to a location, and we actually shot there. And what they were using the pictures for were to put up as props in Uncle George's room. Now, a lot of people who know that movie will know this scene. T.I. and his little brother was in Uncle George's room, and they were just talking. They laid on the bed, and all of a sudden they started looking around, and the little brother said, man, Uncle George is a freak. So then the camera starts to shoot on different pictures, posters, calendars, desk pictures, and of these girls on motorcycles.
Right.
Those were all of my work.
Oh, wow.
So that's not why I ended up in ATL.
That's deep. All right. So, transitioning from Atlanta, you went to D.C., you got your Island Boy photography, right? Is that the right name?
Yep.
All right, Island Boy photography. Yeah, you got an Island Boy photography. You had your in-flavor models, and I think I'm skipping something. Might have been another step. But give me the transition from Atlanta to Maryland into the new imagery that you're working with now.
Well, you know, the biggest difference is, you know, I stepped away from promotions, and I stopped promoting the different girls and managing the girls to just strictly shooting.
Okay.
So that's the biggest difference. I've had a standalone full service photography studio in the DC metro area, I guess for the past, 7 years now. And, you know, the girls will come in and, you know, they'll either be upgrading their portfolio or they'll be creating their portfolio. Or, you know, some girls, you know, they just like to capture time. You know, it's not necessarily that they're models, but, you know, they want to have something to remember when they was young and sexy.
Right. All right.
You know, so they would come in and do that.
Now, I'm gonna keep it real show here, and I know I've seen, because you had a discussion or two with me that you spoke about, you know, some issues that you run into. Now, being that you take pictures of these beautiful models, and you have, dealings, you have business dealings with them, etc. They're nice looking, etc. They have, significant others, and politics and issues ensue here. What type of stuff have you run into with dealing with these models where you're like, hey, I'm just a photographer and I want to, keep this professional and hands off with this other stuff? Like, what type of stuff do you run into by doing it?
Man, it's all the things that you hear on the good side and the bad side of this industry. It's pretty much the truth. You don't run into it all the time. People say if you're a male in the fashion industry, you're going to run into a lot of gay men. It's the same with photography. I particularly just shoot women, so
yep.
I don't necessarily run into the male part of it because of that. I try to keep I don't have anything, against gay people,
right.
But, I prefer not to shoot gay men just because I actually prefer not to shoot men, period, because the way I look at it, when I look through my camera, I'm looking at it strictly from male side, and I can tell a young woman how she looks, and I can capture the picture. I can say things to make her feel sexy.
Okay.
I can't do that with a guy.
No, not really.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
There's no way in the world I'm going to look through my camera and look at dude and be like, oh, man, that's hot, man. Oh, yeah, move your chest.
Baby, take it all off.
No. So I just don't do that. But, it comes with a lot of challenges. There are girls who come, with significant others, and I have a rule. I don't mind you bringing an escort, but I prefer that you not be romantically involved because, I've had people threaten me. I've had guys, threaten, to kill me or, rough me up or what,
As a photographer, they mad at you.
Yeah, they mad at me, like I'm calling a girl to say, come shoot with me. And this is the thing too, man. I don't tell girls what to do.
But you gotta believe in me. You gotta believe that everything I tell you to do is for the best. Because both of us, okay?
They see my portfolio and then they book time with me because they have something specific in mind. Now, when they come to the studio, I never, ever make it a requirement that they have to take their clothes off. They bring their own outfits, so they feel comfortable in shooting whatever they bring.
Right.
Now, I'll tell you this, 80% of the times after the first session, the first session or maybe the second session, sometimes it's even on the first session, but the second outfit, they're already come out of their clothes. Like, literally, they're walking around my studio with absolutely nothing on but heels.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, I don't tell them to do that, but they trust me. They want to try this. So, quite naturally, when I hook the pictures up and we post them in certain places, some of their family see it, some ex-boyfriends, some current boyfriends, and then they want to come after me like I forced them to do this.
Right.
So, you run into that, and, I don't know how other photographers do it, but I like my studio to be very comfortable. So when I shoot with all the latest music, any the music that they bopping their head to in the clubs. That's what you're going to hear in my studio. And then I'll also have a full bar. So, you want to get your drink on, you want to drink water, you want to drink juice. It really don't matter because I have it all laid out.
Yeah, all right.
So it's very comfortable. So a lot of times what will happen is, that every now and then you make a model feel so comfortable that, it almost feels like a date.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To them, it feels like a date because the shoot is over, but they're not leaving.
Okay. They chilling. They so cool with you. They chilling.
Yeah.
All right.
Chilling, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that sometimes causes a problem because, the impression is that, I like you and you like me sort of thing. And, it's hard to, it's sitting in that gray area. And then they start to contact you more. They want to tell you their personal business. So I've run into some situations that could become very very sketchy if you want to say that.
Wow. That's dope, man. That's real cool. Now, let me say this, because you're, like I said, you've been married almost 20 years here, and your wife's ride or die, because she's like, yo, I know he's a professional. He does this. He's good with all that. I'm like, I don't know if a lot of cats can even take these pictures that you take.
I know how you feel sometimes when you come in here. I can feel from you what it's like out there. I see what it does to you, and I know how dope helps hold your head together. I don't want your privacy, baby. All I want to do is help you share the weight.
But
yeah, man,
that's what you do, man.
It's a special thing. And let me tell you, we've been married for 21, going on 22 years, but we met very young, and my wife met me doing photography. This is not something I just popped on at 5 or 10 years later. I was into photography when we met, so it's always grown.
Right.
But the thing is, she accepts it. She, of course, she has problems with it, like anybody would imagine.
Yeah.
But over the time, she's seen where at awards, I've gotten features in magazines, hosted interviews, and I think one deciding moment for my wife, she doesn't necessarily want to see all the pictures that I shoot, and she doesn't care really. It's just, she trusts me enough to know that, hey, this is serious, it's a business, and that's how I'm carrying it.
Right.
But one year, America's Top Model came to D.C., and they was hosting, interviews or their selection process here.
Okay.
So I said, why don't you come and help me pass out flyers? There's going to be a lot of aspiring models, and this would be a good way to get our name out.
Right.
And she said, okay. So we went down there, and the line, let me tell you, dog, the line was wrapped around the hotel, okay?
All right.
So she started on one end, and I started on the other end, and at the end of the evening, when we got back together, her whole conversation to me was that she was like, wow, every time, one out of every 2 girls that I went to, when I gave them your card and information, they already knew who you were.
Dang.
And then she said, well, after a while, I started to think, well, how do you know him? And they would say, Model Mayhem. We've spoken on One Model Place. I'm a friend of his on Facebook. I'm featured in one of his magazines. So it's like she started to really, really, it hit home that I wasn't doing this just for play.
It wasn't a hobby.
Yeah, it was more than a hobby. I was spending money on cameras.
It wasn't one of them fools that say they're a photographer and just taking pictures of girls so they can take their clothes off and look at them. The pictures look like shit. And from our background, IT people. So I come from an IT background. So what really set me aside from other photographers, I can shoot the picture, get it off my camera onto some software, and manipulate the picture to not even just manipulate how you look, but manipulate where you are. I could take a picture of you standing in the middle of Morehouse and take that very same picture and put you on the top of, Mount Everest. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I could if I pose you right, you know what I'm saying, you could be leaning on your chair in the studio, and I could transfer that picture, and you could be leaning against the wall with your body submerged into a pool of water.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like chilling at Caesar's Palace.
Right.
So that's where it where I think I differ from a lot of the other photographers, not having that full spectrum.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, we ran all the way up on our time here, so I want to thank you for spending time kicking it with me. So, where can people see your work at? You got a website up, Facebook group, Twitter, Instagram, all that other good stuff?
Man, if you Google Cayne Clark, and Cayne is spelled C-A-Y-N-E, Clark is C-L-A-R-K-E, you'll run into a lot of my work. You take those two names, put them together, add photography to it, you'll find my website. Go to CayneClarkPhotography.com. And if you just, you just Google In Flavor Model Magazine, that's NFL AVA Model Magazine, you'll run into a lot of the work that I've done. You'll see some other posts that I've done as well.
All right. Man, that's awesome right there, man. Hey, Cayne, I want to thank you for spending time kicking it with Keith C. We're kicking it here with Cayne, once again, on the Stewart Media Entertainment Network. Thank you for spending time here, man, and we'll definitely continue speaking with you as we continue. This is just one of our conversations. There's so many more conversations we'll have. But,
for sure. It was great. It was great being on the show, man. Thank you for having me.
All right, brother. I will talk with you later.
All right, bro.
Once again, thanks for kicking it with Keith C. I'd like to thank the Stewart Media Entertainment Network for tuning in and listening to this podcast. We'll catch you on the next one. Always remember, keep God first and keep your eye on the prize. Take care.
You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people.
The Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Real talk, real radio, real people, just like you.
Yeah!